Welcome to Bata Goodbyes. Each week on our show, we spotlight species from the IUCN Critically Endangered Red List. These are plants and animals with decreasing populations, nearing the edges of extinction. We'll share species research, information, and conservation proposals, and then we'll spend part of the show opening a space for contemplation and awe. We'll perform a soundscape of gentleness, of reflection, of delight, and maybe of grieving. Without conservation activity and significant societal shift, many of these species may not survive the 21st century. So perhaps we might acknowledge their journey with a moment of our attention, a recognition of our kinship, and with a commitment to personal and systemic change. Thank you for listening. On today's show, we consider the Blyde River Cycad. The Blyde River Cycad is a critically endangered plant native to southeastern Africa, specifically the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. The Blyde River Cycad is a small evergreen cycad, only reaching heights of 3 to 6 feet, though spreading to widths of up to 10 feet. It has a palm or fern-like appearance and a suckering growth form. Suckering refers to a plant's ability to produce new shoots, called suckers, from its root system or its main stem. In the case of the Blyde River Cycad, its main stem is entirely underground, which is unusual. And so instead of above-ground branches, the cycad produces multiple underground stems which grow upwards as new shoots. And so this results in a cluster arising from a single base of these leafy stems. The cycad has no branches, like many ferns and palms. Its leaves instead are attached directly to its stems. The leaves, also known as fronds, form an outward arching crown that reaches lengths of 3 to 4 feet with a pinnate compound structure. Pinnate compound means it is composed of numerous smaller leaflets arranged along its central axis, giving it like a feathery appearance. These leaflets are long and narrow, with serrated edges tapering to a sharp triangular point at the tip. They are a vibrant blue-green color. I think, of course, there is great value in knowing and understanding these terms and the specific qualities that make the Blyde River Cycad distinctive. And if you were just wanting like an image in your head, picture a tropical fern, like a bush-sized tropical fern, and that'll get you pretty close. Cycads are an ancient species. They first appear in the fossil record in the early Permian period, so this is roughly 280 million years ago. Which is, of course, an unfathomable time span. But for additional context, that is tens of millions of years before the first dinosaur, and roughly 100 million years before flowering plants evolve. Cycads were a major component of the world's flora then, growing across the globe in a wide range of environments. And 66 million years ago, cycads survived the KPG extinction event. This is the Yucatan asteroid impact that wipes out the dinosaurs. And though their range and diversity is greatly reduced, their lineage continues to this day, retaining features directly linking them to their ancient ancestry. In the dream, a bit of cell or DNA or mRNA remembers the beginning. In the dream, the ice melting, the lava cooling, the great dragonflies, our kin abundant. A time before violet, before lavender, before rose. A flatter, greener world. Here at the initiation of mountains, before the scaled beast. This river was a trickle. This canyon was a whisper in the dream. The Blyde River Cycad is dioecious. That means that individual plants are either male or female, requiring cross-pollination between distinct individuals for successful reproduction. In late spring, early summer, both male and female individuals produce cones which grow from the main stem at the center of the fronds, so right at the surface of the ground. Typically only a single cone grows per individual, though the Blyde River Cycad will occasionally produce multiple cones simultaneously. The male cones are long and cylindrical, bright green and roughly a foot in length and 3 inches in diameter. The female cones are also bright green, but are more egg-shaped, growing up to a foot and a half in length and 10 inches in diameter. These cones are enormous and totally transform the appearance of the plant into something prehistoric. The male cones produce pollen, and the research is ongoing. It is believed that beetles are the primary pollinator. As the beetles move between male and female cones, they inadvertently transfer pollen, facilitating fertilization. Once fertilization occurs, over the next 6 to 9 months, the female cones develop seeds with a light orange fleshy coating called the aril. The ripe cones then disintegrate, releasing these seeds, and the seeds are dispersed by birds and small mammals who are attracted to the colorful fleshy coating. The animals consume the aril and then either discard the seed inside or pass it through their digestive system, ideally depositing it in a new location. A new location with viable conditions for germination. Germination can take several months to a year. The outer coat of the seed slowly softens, and the radicle, this is the initial embryonic root, emerges, anchoring the seed, and it begins to absorb water and nutrients. And then a single leaf emerges, resembling a small curled frond. The Blyde River Cycad is slow growing. It can take anywhere from 10 to 20 years or longer for a seedling to reach reproductive maturity and begin to produce its own cones. They are long-lived, with lifespans potentially exceeding 100 years. The Blyde River Cycad is native to a specific, roughly 20 square mile area within the Blyde River Canyon Nature Reserve in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. The Blyde River Canyon is one of the largest canyons in the world, with an average width of roughly 4.5 miles and reaching depths of half a mile. The canyon is part of the Drakensberg Escarpment. So this is a vast geological formation that separates the high-altitude central plateau of South Africa from the lower-lying coast. Perhaps when I say canyon, you imagine, say, like the gorgeous sandy desolation of like the Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon. The Blyde River Canyon is instead a green canyon of lush growth, towering cliffs of red and white sandstone, slopes sculpted by millennia of erosion, rising from the Blyde River and the fertile valley floor. And our cycad grows on the slopes and cliffs of the canyon, restricted to elevations between 1/2 and 1 mile above sea level. The climate is subtropical. Warm, wet summers, cool, dry winters. Summer temperatures reach highs in the upper 80s, and winter temperatures can dip below freezing. Annual rainfall ranges from 24 to 39 inches, with most of that precipitation falling during the summer months. This is a region of rich biodiversity. The Blyde River Cycad shares the Blyde River Canyon with emerald cuckoo, river resin tree, vervet monkey, black-backed jackal, bald ibis, Cape chestnut, crowned eagle, orchid, cinnamon dove, Gurney's sugarbird, coral tree, common sugarbush, jackal buzzard, black eagle, leopard, lily, tree fern, falcon, baboon, flat lizard, Blyde River protea, red-breasted sparrowhawk, yellowwood, hippopotamus, Cape eagle owl, African finfoot, bush willow, crocodile, Cape vulture, golden-tailed woodpecker, rock kestrel, mountain aloe, wood owl, and many, many more. The most immediate threat to the Blyde River Cycad population is poaching. This is humans illegally removing the species from its native habitat to be sold on the exotic plants black market for ornamental use. Human-induced climate change also threatens the remaining population. Increasing global temperatures have increased the frequency and severity of both drought and fire. So it's causing high mortality among seedlings and the juvenile plants that are yet to reach reproductive maturity. The Blyde River Cycad is legally protected in South Africa, and its entire known population grows within a protected nature reserve. There is viable off-site cultivation of the species occurring at the South African National Botanic Gardens. And though I couldn't find any follow-up info, a 2017 South African Department of Environmental Affairs report proposed reintroduction of cultivated seedlings back into the native habitat. Nevertheless, the Blyde River Cycad has been considered critically endangered on the IUCN Red List since 2003. and their population is currently in decline. Our most recent counts estimate that less than 50 Blyde River Cycad remain in the wild. Information for today's show about the Blyde River Cycad was compiled from the IUCN, the master's dissertation of R. Tafari at the University of Johannesburg, Plant Biology and Biotechnology, from CINET, the Ethiopian Journal of Science, Volume 45, Number 1, the paper South African Encephalartos Species, South African National Biodiversity Institute, Wikipedia, and World Flora Online. And so in a moment, I would like to perform some music in hopes of opening a space to be in contemplation of the other lives with whom we share this earth. And so I will pause in this space of sound and awe and contemplation, and I warmly invite you to join me.
I honor the life force of the Blyde River Cycad. I will carry its human name in my record. Over its long lineage, I am grateful to have shared some of its time on our planet. I lament the ways in which I and my species have harmed and diminished the species, and I grieve. And so in the name of the Blyde River Cycad, I pledge to reduce my consumption and my carbon footprint and my wastefulness. I pledge to acknowledge and attempt to address the costs of my actions and inactions. And I pledge to resist the harm of plant and animal kin and their habitat by individuals, corporations, and governments. And I forever pledge my song to the witness and memory of all life, to a full-throated celebration of biodiversity, and to the total liberation of all beings. This has been Bad at Goodbyes. Thank you for listening. Until next time, let's take care of each other and all of our kin. Goodbye.